Hello, Spinning94 here, and today we're going to watch a video on how I use Wigglytuff. Something a little bit different, as I say, Wigglytuff is my second favourite Pokemon, and I wanted to try and use this in Wi-Fi battles, and to be fair, I've actually been using it on like a doubles team, and it's been having a little bit of success, so I thought I'd do a video just showing you how to use it, and how even some of the more obscure Pokemon that aren't like competitive or balls to the walls can like be really good in battles, so I hope I can convince you that Wigglytuff's worth your time, so enjoy.
So anyway, onto the set I basically use. The set I basically use here is just, as you can see there, it's Hyper Voice, Ice Beam, Dazzling Gleam and Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's an exchangeable move. You can use Flamethrower instead, and I'll explain why later. So basically, why would you use Wigglytuff? Well, first of all, it's goddamn adorable. Secondly, the item choice is up to you. I like Citrus Berry Cup. I like to be able to take a hit, then get some health to recover, maybe take another hit when low on low health, so you're guaranteed maybe 2 good hits as long as they're not super effective. You can even live some banded move, surprisingly, just because of the insane health bulk Wigglytuff actually has, which is interesting. So, and now we're going to the ability. The ability competitive. If your stats lowered, your special attack is increased by 2. This is incredibly useful because of Intimidate Pokemon. On doubles battle, you will encounter a load of intimidated Pokemon. People run intimidate teams, so that can completely shut them down. And honestly, when this thing gets +2, it does scare your opponent. And with it being a normal type, your coverage is absolutely amazing. The main Pokemon this does counter, surprisingly, which I was quite surprised at, is some forms of Landorus T. Landorus T, really common Pokemon in OU, really common on Wi-Fi battles. So, with the competitive boost and the Ice Beam, you can definitely one-hit KO this thing, and as I say, if you want proof of that, I can always link it. I've got quite a few battles where this set's actually done really well, and it does actually give people a bit of a fright when it starts going. EV spread. You want to go all in health, all in special attack, and a modest nature. The 4's up to you. You could put it in defense, you could put it in special defense, up to you. I'd go defense just for the little bit extra bulk, but honestly, if that one doesn't make too much of a difference in this set, so that's the way I'd run it. Reason, bulky enough to take a hit, you want as much damage as possible, and with that competitive boost, it really does increase your attack. Put this at level 50, because that's what you're stuck at on Wi-Fi battles. Anyway, down to the movesets. Movesets, Hyper Voice, Stab Damage, Goes to Substitute, and gets more powerful each turn. And with that competitive boost, honestly, you can get a sweep just via Hyper Voice as long as you don't come in to contact with any rocks or steel types, rock types being one of these things, unfortunately quite major counters. But for that, you have Dazzling Gleam, a lot of dragon types out there, especially on Wi-Fi when you're versing a lot of legendaries, so it's nice to be able to hit them super effective with Stab, and of course the competitive boost always helps. Ice Beam, as we were saying before, deal with Landorus T, other flying Pokemon also deals with those dragon flying types, and of course Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt I use to deal with Milotic. If Milotic's becoming popular, plus it's a nice neutral move on a lot of things. As I say, if the ground type comes in, there's your Ice Beam to deal with that, so I found they gel quite nicely, and it also hits steel neutral. But if you want the super effective damage on steel, I mean, you can always go for Flamethrower. There's honestly nothing stopping you. I'm sure this thing gets Flamethrower. Yeah, Flamethrower, it's a nice chance, plus the burn always helps. As I say, that chance of a burn is pretty awesome. So that's the set I use. Another set I was looking at, the Smogon set, it doesn't recommend Toxic here, it actually recommends Hyper Voice. That is the Smogon set. So this set's also really good in singles. Stealth Rock. In PU, it'd become incredibly useful. Item, I'd probably go lefties or maybe Citrus Berry again. But yeah, Stealth Rock's certainly something I didn't know Wigglytuff get. Yet again, proving just how vast this coverage is. I mean, even Disable, as you can see at the bottom there. So this thing has some really nice coverage. Stealth Rock is definitely going to be able to do a nice chunk of damage each turn. Hyper Voice is obviously for Stab, yet again stops people setting up substitutes and stuff. Flamethrower or Focus Blast to damage them steel types. Focus Blast is nice for raw power, but I personally prefer Flamethrower because fire is effective against a lot of things, plus the chance of a burn, and of course 100% accuracy, nearly burnt there. And Dazzling Gleam as well, from this stab move, deals with some kinds of dragons and stuff. I can't think of anything typically which accounted specifically in my mind, which is terrible because I should know that thing, but it's always nice to have another good stab move. So that's basically from Wigglytuff there. Another set for 6v6 singles. This thing with its massive health bulk, you can always just run is a special defensive wall. You have the health bulk, you have the health bulk, you have size, not the best, let's be honest, special defense, but obviously you can bulk that up, give it a calm nature. and put that extra 4 in special attack, and you can go competitive, but honestly I see some use in Frisk, because Frisk you can pick out the item your opponent's carrying, and with your item you can see the set, so you can see if it's a resto chesto, if it's got the chesto berry, you can see if it's a screen set, or if it's carrying like clay, you can see if it's just an alright attacking set, if it's got banded. So honestly I think this set could be useful. I'm going to build one to test it for a PU team later on, unfortunately later on in the month, because I've got Japan coming up, so that's how I set it up there. So thank you all for watching, guys. Something very different actually. I haven't done a spin to spotlight in 8 months, so I hope you all enjoyed, and of course remember to like, share, subscribe. If you've got any comments down below, say it. If you disagree with the set, but say why you disagree with it below, and I'll say what I can do to improve the video. And as I say, every set does have a weakness. Rosa Raid springs to mind. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.